Twatch presents our next big thing. Something long promised, but never delivered. Getting paid for using Twitter. For how many long years have you toiled for free on this God-forsaken site? What a mess. What a shame. What could have been. But now Twatch is here to save the day yet again. You'll finally be getting paid for all your hard work.
What's up, people? Hotep Jesus, we back.
That Hotep Jesus dude.
Got some big announcements today. Syscoin just updated their roadmap. Go check out Syscoin, SYS Coin. You see it on the screen. Brand new roadmap update. Rapid growth of the project. Great news that I wish I could announce right now, but I can't yet. But some new news coming out soon, so stay tuned. Shout out to our sponsor, them of Syscoin. More great news coming from them soon. You're definitely going to want to tap into this. Shout out to Men of Order, our sponsor of all things masculinity, our official sponsor for all things men. Shout out to menoforder.com. Make sure you guys go visit. HotepCon, hope to see you guys. I can't wait to see some of you guys, some of you people who already purchased tickets. You'll be hanging out with me, Uncle Hotep, and the crew, as well as our special guests, Sonny Johnson, Kim Klasick, Crypto Wendy Yo, and Project Rook. Amazing cast. We'll be doing a lot of live events, a lot of content creation. Some of you may end up in a movie, a commercial, who knows? But we're shooting a lot of content out there, so if you're looking for your Hollywood start, HotepCon weekend might be it. So shout out to people who already purchased tickets and people who will be purchasing tickets August 11th to the 13th. That's going to be happening soon. Shout out to Twitch. I'm officially on Twitch. Go check out Twitch. Make sure you guys go tap in. You saw the commercial beforehand. Let's dive right into the mess. Law professor accuses Josh Hawley of being transphobic in testy Senate hearing exchange. It says here, a Berkeley law professor called out Senator Josh Hawley for a transphobic line of questioning Tuesday during the Senate Judiciary Committee's hearing on the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Interesting. After the GOP senators criticized her for referring to people that can become pregnant as being affected by abortion rather than women. Let's go right into the tape. Let's just play the tape. Let's not fool around here. Let's just hop right into the juice. Let's go look at what exactly transpired. And let's break this thing down. Hopefully you can see that on your screen now.
Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy.
See, he messed up right there. Why you even bring that up, dog? Why you even bring that up? Oh my God. This ain't got nothing to do with the hearings of Roe v. Wade, and you really just gonna open the door and then just invite them to explain their nonsense? You're going to invite them to explain. You know they can't explain this nonsense. Senator Josh Hawley, you know they can't explain this stuff. And you're going to put us through the headache to have to listen to this woman actually explain this stuff. Let's listen to it.
See, many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who.
See, and that's the thing. You're going to come out here messing with the wrong ones and you're going to sound miseducated, right? So if you say women are people that can give birth and there's a woman that can't give birth, does that negate the fact that she's a woman? This is where the left is going to defeat you. They're going to defeat you on the battleground of intellectualism. Because that's all they do is think of dumb shit. Dumb shit to argue about. So they're going to run circles around you. For even saying that, the definition of a woman, what you should have said with some chromosomes. This is how you got to come into the conversation. See, when you're dealing with intellects, you got to come intellectual. You talking about women? Are you talking about double X chromosomes? Is that what we talking about here? And see what they say then.
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy.
Do you know how many times she's said these lines? These lines that you're about to hear, do you know how many times she's said these lines? She's probably explained this. I mean, she's got this stuff down. Down. This is a walk in the park for a liberal.
There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive.
Yo, if you ever get a black woman to say the term mutually exclusive, these things are not mutually exclusive. Oh man, you're just in a world of hurt. That's just not the type of person you want to have a conversation with. You're just going to get, they're going to run rings around you with rhetoric.
Senator Hawley.
Oh, so you're.
Women while also recognizing that it impacts.
Look,
well
you have to.
Pregnancy.
This is a black woman. Don't nobody come ready to argue like a black woman. That's why he should have never opened the door for this. Should have never opened the door for this. It's what she came to do. And she's an attorney. She's a professor. Berkeley, I believe. Columbia, Spelman, professor at Berkeley School of Law. She's a professor at Berkeley. That's who you want to have. You want to play games with, Senator Hawley. You know what the sad part is about her? Such a beautiful mind wasted. Such a beautiful mind wasted on socialism. Such a beautiful mind wasted on liberalism and democracy. Just wasted. This is what liberals do. They farm them up and they train them. They farm them up. They convince them to come to their institutions of learning. They farm them up and then they train them in these ways, in these psychological subversion, ways of subversion. And the women themselves, their minds are subverted especially. This is a very intelligent woman wasting her talent. She's wasting her talent. Very intelligent. Very beautiful. I believe her intentions are even in the right place. Wasting her talent. Millions of dollars have been invested into wasting her talent. Millions.
As well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups.
This is how you know she's real comfortable. She responds with a smile on her face. Like they live for these conversations. Watch the smile come across her face.
There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups.
Those things are not mutually exclusive. She says it with a smile on her face. You know why? Because they are in think tank rooms practicing for these rebuttals. They know your rhetoric better than you know it. They study your rhetoric and they have think tanks and come up with rebuttals for all of this stuff. She did it with a smile on her face. This is child's play for her to defend her position.
Things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that.
See, and that's why I say he should have never messed with her, because that's the next thing you gonna get. That's the next thing they just gonna call you one of these phobics. He should have just left that whole line alone. He should have stuck to the verbiage. And I did this with the Democrat the other day. I stuck to the verbiage. You can talk all you want about the oppression of people and women and all of that. All right, cool. I'll give you that. Can we talk about what the actual verbiage of the decision from SCOTUS is? Go watch my channel. I debated a Democrat woman on this topic. It's a very simple debate. Stick to the books. What did the Supreme Court say? Are they upholding the 10th Amendment? Good. Close the books, everyone go home. Job done. More freedom for people. That's the only thing. He want to play. We got midterm elections coming up. He want to play, oh, let me get my gotcha moment. You see, everybody out here grifting. I respect the hustle. But at least win the battle. If you're going to go up against these people, win the battle. And win it outright. And be ready. You should have been ready for all of this.
Violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that
dangerous.
trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence?
She's funny. She's funny. That's their gotcha moment. This is the Democrat gotcha moment. See? Gotcha. In their little world of gender bending games, right?
Get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to...
This is why you can't argue with these people. How you gonna argue with some shit that don't make no sense? How can you argue with... This is why I be telling people, like, don't enter these arguments. They will kick your ass at being stupid every time. They will kick your ass. I don't have these stupid arguments with people. You want to believe in you a goddamn raccoon? Fuck it. You was a goddamn kangaroo. Whatever you want to be. I'll call you Mr. Kangaroo, Mrs. Kangaroo, whatever the fuck it is. You want to have babies? Go right the fuck ahead. I don't care. I don't want to have these conversations. Whatever you do is your right. Fourth Amendment, privacy, leave me alone. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. There's a mental health aspect to these trans people that we're not talking about, which I'm not going to touch right now. But let's rewind it a little bit. Let's analyze this again.
So we can't talk?
Because in my book, The Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, I talk about men arguing with women. And once you have a man arguing with women, it's just two bitches fighting. And he ended up going into a back and forth. You never end up in a back and forth with a black woman. You just don't do that. It's not gonna end well.
Saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that
dangerous.
trans people exist by...
See, like how he's just like cutting her off? Don't cut her off. Let her talk. Let these people talk. The more they talk, the dumber they sound. Don't cut them off. You're supposed to let them keep talking and talking and talking, and eventually they're gonna just understand that what they're saying makes absolutely no sense. You can't fight illogic with logic. It doesn't work. You're going to fight logic with logic. and illogical. So you just sound like two dumbasses fighting, or you sound like two intelligent people fighting. But she's gonna whoop your ass every single time, talking nonsense, having a nonsense argument.
That trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that
dangerous.
See, he cuts her off. Don't cut him off. Don't cut him off. That illustrates lack of discipline, lack of respect, etiquette. It doesn't look good on the aura of a man. It doesn't look good on the aura of a man. I could see trying to, cut the conversation short, then maybe yes. But going back and forth with a woman, that's what we doing, yo. For what? For a couple of retweets, for a gotcha moment. I get it, Senator Josh Hawley getting his grift on. I respect the hustle, right? This is good for him. He's got the publicity. I'm sure people are like, everybody's running around with this clip like, oh my God, look,
People exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies.
Do you believe that men can get?
And then once they start doing that shit, where they start repeating themselves, are you? Oh, now they fed up.
And pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies.
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get pregnant.
So you're denying that trans people exist?
And that leads.
Yo. All right, we might need to touch on the mental health aspect. We might need to touch on it. If people don't recognize that I exist, I may become suicidal. That's wild. That's wild to me. That's wild. And it's my fault that I haven't recognized you and said, hey, I see you. You're right there. Hey, gotcha. I see you. Tried to hide. I see you. What? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we really doing? That's wild. I think that you should want to be seen for what you create. What have you created? What have you created? That's what you should want to be seen for. That's what I want to be recognized for. My work. I don't want people to think, oh, look, they go black people. We know black people exist. What have I said for a very long time? So black people are like, why do you care? They'll say, oh, Republicans don't care about us. I'm like, why do you care if somebody else cares about you? Why do you care if somebody else cares about you? Do you care about you? You need to care about you. That's where the mental illness is starting. You don't care about you enough. You got to find love within you. When you can't find love without, you got to find love within. And it starts with taking care of yourself. It starts with taking care of your body. It starts taking care of your mind. It starts with creating things and sharing those things with the world and allowing the world to judge them and being okay with the world judging you. You know how many times I go on podcasts and I say something and I sound like a complete idiot? I have to be okay with being judged. That's part of the job. That's part of being great. That's part of being happy. I see what people say and like, oh, okay, I shouldn't do that. All right, I won't do it anymore. Fine. This is how we learn. We're learning on the fly here. This is the education. We're learning on the fly. But you have to be okay with your creations and sharing them with the world and being okay with the fact that people are going to have some critique. That's all I'll say on the mental health tip.
To violence, is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
So, if this is the professor If this black woman is the professor at Berkeley of law, what do you think happens to the other black minds that come through her class? What do you think happens to the other white minds, Indian minds, Mexican minds, Cuban minds that pass through her classroom? Native American minds. What do you think happens to those minds? Woo! Parents paying a lot of money to have their kids brainwashed. Y'all had some planting today. What's your planting levels at? Let's raise your planting levels, bro. So this whole debacle, and let me summarize here. This whole debacle with Senator Hawley and this black woman, it's pure theater. Pure theater. But I wanted to do the stream because I wanted you to understand some of the liberals' best minds. This is their best mind. This is one of the best minds right here. This woman is extremely intelligent. Batshit crazy. Or conditions, I should say. Complete waste of intelligence. But she's very intelligent. Complete waste of intelligence, but she is intelligent. She's working for the wrong team. I'm trying to figure out how do we get her out. We got to unplug her. She need a red pill. Somebody need to red pill her. We need her on our side. Because that's just a waste of brilliance to be wasting your time breaking down. So, for example, let's go to this, right? Let's go to her. It says here on her wiki page, and this is what they were talking about in the hearing, I'm assuming. It says Bridges' first book, Reproducing Race, an ethnography of pregnancy as a site of racialization, published in 2011, documents the findings of 18 months of Bridges' ethnographic fieldwork spent in a large metropolitan hospital in New York City. In Reproducing Race, Bridges argues that race affects the way that people with the capacity for pregnancy receive prenatal care. We're going to come back to that in a second. And alters their experiences of hospital childbirth. Bridges focuses on how race and socioeconomic status interact and comes to the conclusion that medical professionals are influenced by racial stereotypes when making decisions about the treatment of people with the capacity of pregnancy. In Reproducing Race, Bridges discusses topics such as stratified reproduction, eugenics, and racialization of disease. Raina Rapp, an anthropologist who has written much on birth in the United States, commends Reproducing Race for Bridges' argument that racist eugenics haunts contemporary hospital speak, whatever individual intentions may be. I just want to know how Miss Bridges here, so I want to make sure I got her name right. I want to know how Miss Bridges here wrote a whole ethnography on reproduction and race and racialization and eugenics and never ran across Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood. Is that in there? Maybe it's in there. I have to go. I want to read it. I want to read it. Is this it? Can we it's $25. I might actually buy this. Does she mention anything about that in here? How do you study all of that? You studied all of that. However, you couldn't figure out that Planned Parenthood is killing niggas. All that study you had since 2011 till now, and you still didn't figure out who's killing black babies. Oh my God. Bro, what was you looking at? You was just in the hospitals? I don't know, bro. So she goes to school to learn about law, right? But she comes out with this. right? Where is it? Did I lose it? Oh, here it is. People with the capacity for pregnancy. Imagine you spending your good money to send your daughter to school, and she come back talking like this. I would be sick. I sue the school. They obviously ain't doing their job. They obviously not teaching my child. I want my money back and then some. I want my money back. What is it, Spelman she went to? Spelman, Columbia University. I want my money back. I need a refund. ASAP. Because what? People with the capacity for pregnancy. You know what? How about we take it a step further? How do we know they're people? What if they're not people? What if I don't want to be identified as a person? What if I don't want to be identified as a person? Respect my species. You can't just assume that these are people. This is where we're going with this, people. This is where we're going with this. Can't be serious. She went to law school to come out with calling this people with the capacity for pregnancy. Mom and dad gotta get their money back. And they keep using this term here when making decisions about the treatment of people with the capacity for pregnancy. What? When do you use that term? I gotta take her class. I need one of these classes so I could be up to date on the bullshit speak. Because I don't want to offend nobody. But when do you use that? And when do you use women? Yeah, I was hanging out with a whole lot of people with the capacity for pregnancy last night. What, nigga? You know, the ladies. When do you use this term? When is it appropriate? If I look on my next job application, is it going to say men and then people with the capacity of pregnancy? Is that what you're going to put on the form? What are we doing here, yo? When am I using this? At the gym? Hey, you know, you're a pretty fine person with capacity with pregnancy. When are we using this? What are we doing here? What are we doing here, people? And that's why I say Senator Hawley should have never opened that bag. He should have never let her. I'd have wanted to get her out of here so fast. Please get her. As soon as she came up here and I saw that shit and it said people with the capacity for pregnancy, I'd be like, yo, let's make this quick. Let's make this quick. Get her out of here. Let's get somebody up here who's got a functioning brain. Thinking for themselves. Oh, man, y'all, they done did a number on my people, man. And Spelman's an HBCU. How you go to Spelman, an HBCU, and come out talking like that? I don't know what's going on at these universities. You know, if we're speaking for the black community, it seems like every other group is getting concessions except for us. We got to have an asterisk next to being black. Oh, I'm black, but I don't identify as a man. Bonus points. If I don't add the asterisk next to being black, I'm just a cisgendered male, and according to the root, I'm the white people of black people. I'm the problem in the community. Black men. This is what they're gonna say. Black men are the problem in the black community. The problem is, motherfuckers is distracted by the bullshit and can't focus on themselves. That's what the problem is. People are focused on the BS and can't focus on themselves. That's what's wrong with the T people. They're worried about what everybody else think about them. Who cares what I think about you? If you think you beautiful in your little tutu, rock out, yo. Rock out. Have a blast. You know, I hope you do great things in life. I mean no ill will towards you or your people. I don't. Enjoy. But they just want to drag us into everything, man. Sheesh. Let's get to the super chats. Jabari Judy, he said they'll give you some BS about intersex, which is 0.001 of births and other mutations as an excuse. They love moving goalposts. Yeah, they will use that argument. That's also another one of their arguments. You're absolutely right, Jabari. They will absolutely. Well, what about androgynous human beings? And it's just like, oh my God, yo, like, do you include the anomalies in the data? Is that what we doing? Anyway, Canon Hotep, he said the sad part is that these are the left's champions. They are. These are the left's champions. These are the left's champions. Abso-freaking-lutely. These are the left's champions. This is their best. And they're good at what they do, and they're sharp minds, and their minds are working around the clock against ours. And we just got to stay focused. We got to stay focused. Again, I'm not pumping the video up just to be pumping the video up. Go watch my interview. It was recent when I debated the Democrat on abortion, on the Roe v. Wade decision. Go watch it. Stick to the books. Don't get into these arguments. It's like going on to your enemy's battleground. You don't want to go to your enemy's ground and fight. You want to fight the war on your ground. You want to fight the war on your territory, right? Where you have the advantage. You know the terrain. When you start going over there and you start having arguments and gender war arguments, you are now on their terrain because they've created that whole paradigm. That's their creation. So they control it, which means they can manipulate and change it at any moment. They control the rules to that game. You can't win that game. That's their game. They made up the terms. It's just like saying socialism and capitalism. Well, both terms are pretty much created by socialists. So using these terms, you're still playing a game. They're slick. You got to remember, they're very slick. They'll draw you into their territory. No, I'm not coming into your territory. Your territory is pure emotions and muck. Emotions and muck. I'm over here and I'm going to deal with the facts. What does the Constitution say? And we're going by that until further notice. Until a new Constitution comes from outer space, from some alien race. I no longer identify as people, though. I no longer identify as people. I am an extraterrestrial. I come from an extraterrestrial race. We are not people. We are not persons. Please respect my species. I am Hotep Jesus. It has been wonderful speaking to you tonight. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow with some more analysis of our crazy world. Hotep and Bill, John.
Twatch presents our next big thing. Something long promised, but never delivered. Getting paid for using Twitter. For how many long years have you toiled for free on this God-forsaken site? What a mess. What a shame. What could have been. But now Twatch is here to save the day yet again. You'll finally be getting paid for all your hard work.